everyone, it's Carol Williams with Beyond the Soundbite, where I come to you here live every Monday morning talking about what's new and what's hot in U.S. immigration. So I wanted to dive right in for this morning so that you all are not kept waiting. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the Biden administration, under his executive order, restoring faith in our legal immigration system and strengthening integration and inclusion efforts for new Americans, has gone back to a 2004 very long-standing guidance that was not followed during the prior White House administration. But that prior guidance essentially tells the adjudicating officers at USCIS to give deference to previous USCIS adjudications. So when we are filing for extension applications for work authorization for same employer, same employee, same position, same location, same level of position, same job duties, we should not be getting 14 and 15 page RFEs, or worse yet, notice of intent to deny, when in fact we are filing an extension with no significant changes, and the Immigration Service has previously approved a very, very similar application. Under the prior White House administration, we were seeing requests for additional evidence. Sometimes we were seeing notice of intent to deny. And so it just made the process a whole lot longer, really much more than it needed to be. Again, for something that the Immigration Service had already looked at, evaluated, analyzed, and approved. So we are now back to the 2004 very long-standing guidance for the officers to give deference to their own USCIS colleagues who approved an application previously. So of course it goes without saying, if there was some sort of material misrepresentation or something underlying the first application where it shouldn't have been approved, certainly the Immigration Services, will take a look at that. But if they don't find that, they're now being instructed to give deference to their colleagues who previously approved an application. So we are super excited about that. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the first 100 days of the current White House administration under President Biden. Certainly a lot of ink was spilled this weekend in various news outlets about it. And I wanted to touch on just a few things that I think are interesting and key and important for us to know within the first 100 days of his administration when it comes specifically to immigration. Because again, I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. So that's what I want to talk about. So we have seen TPS extended for some countries and new TPS designations in the first 100 days. So we now have TPS for Venezuela and Burma, and South Sudan and Syria. We have also seen very, very comprehensive immigration reform legislation that was promoted by the Biden administration. It is now winding its way through Congress and the approval process. So we are looking for that. Essentially, that gives a path to citizenship for many different immigrant groups. So again, that is absolutely not law yet. It is winding its way through the immigration system, so we will see how that ends up. But that is something that President Biden, that was part of his platform when he was campaigning for president, and that was something that he put forth fairly quickly into his administration. President Biden also has mandated the stopping of the use of the word alien to really acknowledge that our immigrants are people and they're human and they deserve to be treated that way. So we're no longer using that word when it comes to immigration agencies. He has, in his first 100 days of his administration, ended and let expire the travel ban that we were experiencing for H's and L's. So that is great news for employers. We have seen some movement on K-1 visas at consulates, slow, but some. He is also trying to work through the current backlogs at the consulate at USCIS. So we'll see. That they have been slow, but there's a tremendous backlog given that applications were severely slowed down in 2020 because of the pandemic, and they are still slow. And we have also seen an end to the incredibly onerous public charge rule that was instituted under the prior White House administration. So those are a few things that I wanted to just bring to the forefront of what the new president, President Biden's administration, has done in the first 100 days of office. So we are certainly looking forward to seeing what happens next as part of his administration when it comes to immigration reform and immigration policy in general. And the last thing I wanted to mention this lovely Monday morning is we now have a travel restriction to help stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And that travel restriction impacts individuals that are currently in India. India has seen an uptick in their COVID-19 numbers, such that President Biden decided to have a travel restriction. So we will definitely keep on top of that, keep you updated, and let you know if there are any changes to that travel restriction. I should say when there are changes to that travel restriction. And so that's really super quick this morning, y'all. That's all I really wanted to talk about with you. If you have any questions, you're watching this on the replay, feel free to pop those in the comments and just put #replay. I do go back and look at all of the comments and do my best to respond. And again, I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and this is Beyond the Soundbite, where every Monday morning I talk to you about what's hot and the latest news with U.S. immigration. So if you have any questions that you don't feel comfortable putting in the chat, you can feel free to reach out to my office at 954-903-1337. Everyone have a wonderful week, and I will see you back here next Monday.